Hey everybody, Cone Dodger here. Welcome back to Assetto Corsa. So we got another Nuburgring challenge on the docket today. This time, as you can see, a little bit different. No supercars, no Paganis, no racing slicks, no downforce, but a lot of diesel. We're doing it in the Renault truck, which is a mod for the game that is amazingly well done. I've been pretty impressed by the modding community already, as I have mentioned. So we are doing a modded vehicle on a modded track, and from what I've seen, it's a whole lot of fun. So this challenge is brought up by Teza192, who made a post on the Assetto Corsa subreddit saying, I got this challenge if anybody is up for it. And as soon as I watched it, I was like, yep, I gotta tackle this one. So he completed the Nuburgring full course Snoopy 1.1 in a time of 8 minutes 48 seconds and some change. I think it was like 5/10. So I want to beat that time, or at least try to get close to it. Hopefully it doesn't take 5 hours like my Pagani challenge did, but I'm willing to give it a pretty good try here. So before I start trying to do some serious laps, let's do a little bit of a preview or review or whatever you will of the truck itself. Those are headlights. That is not the button I wanted. So let's go back to that view. Yeah, look how well the model is. I don't know if this model was taken from another game or not. I really don't have too terribly much information on the mod itself. But yeah, pretty impressive. Very much so on caliber with the models that are in the stock game, the regular game. So very impressive. Inside could use some work. The hands don't move on the steering wheel, stuff like that. Stuff that could be figured out in the future. But let's get to driving a little bit, shall we? Alrighty, let me turn on my apps, especially since we can't see the gauges or anything like that. And we wouldn't really want to, because you'd be looking straight down and wouldn't be able to see where you're going. Okay, so this is a racing truck. These do exist. There is a whole FIA sanctioned racing series based around semi-trucks. They're cab over, not like the American, I don't remember what ours are called, conventional or whatever they're called, with the big long noses. So that makes it a little bit easier to drive on a race course. They are just a single rear axle rather than the dual tandem axles. It is rather powerful. It does not have the expected like 12 to 16 gears. This one actually only has 4 gears, and I believe that is better suited for the racing purposes. They need all of those gears to distribute the torque to try and pull big loads. Obviously we're just moving the truck, so we don't necessarily need that many gears. Handling wise, it's tuned a little bit to be racing bred. Obviously it got more grip and more suspension set up for racing than, say, a normal semi. But that being said, it's still a semi, so it's still got some quirks. Most notably is obviously the fact that there is 0 weight on the drive wheels, so incorrect throttle usage ends up being instant 360s, especially since obviously a lot of torque with a diesel engine. So there's our 4 speeds, and you can see you get going pretty quick. The brakes are surprisingly good. It gets it wound down just like you would want. Any more braking force and it would be hard to manage, and any less and you would be braking a mile before the turns. So I think the top speed's about 145. You get there pretty quick, and it sneaks up on you. The suspension travel and stuff like that will really, sometimes it starts to buck pretty badly, and I imagine that's actually pretty realistic. The rear differential is locked. I would assume it's probably even just a straight axle, or solid differential. There's no coast, there's no power distribution. It's just 1-to-1 ratio or 1-to-1 power to both wheels, which means It's very hard to downshift while braking and into turns, from what I have found. It makes it want to really snap around, and at low speeds, obviously you lose out on the whole point of differentials, is making it easier to turn at low speeds. So you can see it really scrubs the front end. There's some of that bouncing I was talking about. So it's a wild beast to drive, but it's an absolute blast. This just speaks volumes to me of how good the physics engine is and how versatile it is in Assetto Corsa. That this works. You know, this is user-created content, and honestly, it behaves better than I would say even some of the trucking simulations I have played. Obviously, I've never played a racing truck simulation, though I think they do exist. But I'm very impressed with how believable it handles. It handles exactly how I expected it to. I have seen a little bit of rumblings about people, I guess, kind of being upset about stuff like this being introduced to the game. This is what the modding community is focused on, blah blah blah. I don't mind it at all. It's still a form of racing, it's a whole lot of fun, and it's not hurting anybody, so more power to them. Give me all the crazy mods you can think of. Honestly, when it comes to the road cars and the race cars, you know, the super popular stuff, I would rather wait for the studio-produced content, because odds are it's going to be of a little bit higher quality and detail, and they have the funds to do the research, so I would rather see them focus on the quote-unquote important stuff and leave stuff like this to the modders. They can still do a great job and offer a nice wide variety of content. So that is my stance on the truck. I will do a few laps, hopefully not 5 hours worth, try and get a solid lap in, and try and beat old Tez's time there. Also, stay off the curbs. They're devils. 8:42. That was almost more nerve-wracking than driving the Pagani, I think. Alright, well there we have it. That is my rebuttal, if you will. My entry into the Renault truck at the Nürburgring competition. 8:42.0. Still lots of time left in the track. There was a couple very hairy moments in that lap where seconds were lost, and that's kind of the key to Nürburgring, is one mistake will cost you literally seconds per lap. So I would like to see more attempts at this. See maybe Tezza beat that time, or somebody else out there. It's a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend giving it a try. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.